Good afternoon. This is Neil of Simpler Futures, Simpler Trading. It's Wednesday, August 30th. Tomorrow will be the last day of the month, and then we start off September on a Friday with the non-farm payroll report. It's interesting. I don't think that I've ever seen the Friday be the first day of the month and it offer a non-farm payroll report. I'm sure it's got to do with the Labor Day weekend being the next week or something. I don't know. But anyway, we were last together on Monday for videos, and we had 4430 as our line in the sand. If it's going higher, it's going to 92, and if it's going lower, it's going to 4380. But it was 4430 was our over under. And so then, since then, here's what's happened. Tuesday here didn't even test 4430. It took off from the word go. Well, it took off. That's not the right way to say it. It started off at the low. It didn't really take off. It took off at 9 a.m. Central on the news. And that was that JOLTS job openings report. And I told you, I think it matters. I can't tell you if it's going to go up or down, but that report, I think it matters. Not that it always matters, but it matters right now because it's part of the Fed's mandate with the employment thing, and they need to see what the jobs are doing in order to kind of gauge how they're going to handle this inflation attack, et cetera. So, CPIs and jobs are the two things that matter right now. And boy, did it mattered. I mean, this thing, it was 44 about 50 or something like that at the report, and that's when it took off. It just up. And so notice what it did. It started at the low, ended at the high. It had very small retracements during, it had this one retracement right there, very small retracements during the course of its going, starting at the low and ending at the high on expansive range. Not normal range. That's not normal range. Remember, the expected move on the options chain for Tuesday was only 2 points. It did about 3 times that. So this very much, the options chain had it dead wrong. This absolutely took the market by storm on Tuesday. Completely blew the expected move out of the water, threefold. But what else it did, here's the takeaway. It did this, started at the low, ended on the high, did it on an expansive range, and carried balance, point of control, you see the magenta line there, that's balance, point of control, out with it at the high at the end of the day. In other words, what that's saying is we are accepting these prices. If it leaves balance way back down here in the middle or lower area, but price goes out at the top, that's a whole different story. That story would require you to be anticipating that the next day would come back because it leaves balance all the way back. No, that's not the case. It carries all the way, goes out at the high, takes balance out with it at the high. That means look for follow through. Basically what it means is, hey, we ran out of time. That's it. Somebody rang a bell and told us to go home, but we weren't ready to quit. And so as soon as, we get to start over again, we're going to keep doing what we were doing. And that's what it did. It just keeps going higher, right? So now let's catch up to where we are now. Today's Wednesday. We've got Monday, nothing. Tuesday, trend day. Wednesday, follow through. Like I just said, balance went out at the high after a trend day. And we got a little follow through. That's what you anticipate. You don't anticipate trend on the back of trend. You can do the math on that, and it doesn't work. The answer is 2.5%. By the way, I just happen to know statistically because I've got the records. But anyway, it takes balance up here today at 45.24. Remember, 44.30 was our over under. We're up here at 45.30. 100 higher since we were last together on Monday. This is crazy, but anyway. I mean, the expected move on the entire week was plus or minus 50. It's already 100 higher. So these numbers have the expectation, the market, the options chain, the premium that's priced in for every, this is completely blowing expectations out of the water. We can get it right or wrong, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, this price action is far and away greater than what the market had priced in for this week. So, what now? That's the question. Well, it can go higher or lower, obviously, right? I mean, but here's the deal. We've got PCE and payroll reports still yet ahead of us Thursday and Friday. So we've had JOLTS and GDP. That was yesterday and today. Now we've got PCE and payrolls. So the price is right. So it can come back just as easily as it did rally. By the way, if it comes back where it's going, I'd show you exactly where it's going. In my opinion, everything I say is, of course, my opinion, right? I don't know exactly what's going to do, but I can point and say, here's exactly where I think it makes sense to go. It would be right there, 44.50. Reason? That's the spot at which everything was supposedly fair and balanced and priced when it got bullish news. So if we come in tomorrow and Friday and we get bearish news, like a big number on the jobs report, I forget let me look at my notes here. Jobs report's looking for, where is it? ADP came in at 177 versus 195. That's a little soft, so that was good news. GDP came in at 2.1 versus 2.4. That's good. So all this is good so far. Now, here's the little German and Spanish CPI came in hot. All right, so that's a little market kind of, don't know about that. It's not so good. But non-farm payrolls are expected to come in at something, I forget, I don't have it in my notes here, but something like, I don't have time to look it up, but like 180 or something like that. If it comes in bigger than that, by, let's say, 25 plus thousand bigger than the number, that's going to be bearish. So that would cause this thing to roll over and come back in. If it comes back in, it's going to where it was when it got bullish news. Bearish news would bring it back to balance where it was before it got bullish news. So the answer, the down tick target is 44.50. But is it going higher? I mean, right now, I'll tell you this, from the July high to the recent 2 weeks ago low, it's at a 618 retrace at 45 and a quarter. You can see it right there. I've got them. That's what that 618 retrace is on the chart. That's from the July high to the that 43.50 low from like 2 weeks ago or whatever. I mean, if it continues higher, then the next thing that I've got up here for it would be 40. That's awfully tall, but it just is what it is. The next level up here would be 45.75. It seems a bit much, I got to tell you, but because it's already well past the expected move forward this week, and it's only Wednesday. I'll tell you, it's going to depend on the news. I mean, and who am I to say if these two numbers that are coming out are going to be bullish or bearish? I don't know. I know that right now the picture is that price is accepted at these levels. Price, you can see it right there. The balance is 45 and a quarter. That's where price went out today. It took balance out with it at the highs up here. So that's acceptance of these higher prices. It's not saying, price went up there, but I've got this bearish, overbought RSI and a bearish MACD divergence and none of that. All right. So here's what I got. I can tell you right now, here's what it is. 45 and a quarter is our new 44.30. That's our new, what was 44.30. That is it right there. That's our over under. And if it's going to go up on these numbers, on this news, it's going 45.75, which honestly seems stretched, I got to tell you, but I don't make the rules. And if it starts to come in and roll, it would be bearish news. to make it come in and roll. It's going to need a catalyst, right? And if it does, because if it does, it's going back to right there, 44.50. That's the spot. That's the target for the bears, because that neutralizes back to where it was when it got bullish news, right? Bearish would take it, oh, okay, we go back to where it was when we got bullish, right? It's like tit for tat, one for the other. Bullish took it up, bearish take it back to there. That's it. I mean, in a nutshell, that's. But right now, the picture is these are higher prices are accepted, and it's illustrated by the fact that the point of control is up here, which is balance, which is acceptance, and it's at the highs. And so it's not that price is up here where balance is down below. It's not that. Right now, everybody that's got a trading account has an opinion or has the ability to express their opinion with a buy or a sell. And the majority of that has been expressed and been done at the high price up here. So that's it, man. Next target on the long side, 45.75, and bearish news takes it back to 44.50. Bottom line, that's it. So we'll leave it to the numbers to tell us, from there what's next. I mean, that's just the way it goes. Let's see what else I got. And we see. Oh, let's see what else we got. We see nat gas was up today. That's nice. We see wheat was up a little bit today. That's nice. I don't have a clue what's going on in the meats, and so I'm going to leave them alone. I like this DBA commodities chart. I like that. I like this. Buy the whole commodity space with DBA and get it done. I like that. Coffee is good. It's bid. Bonds and notes are obviously they're up on lower rates on the jobs report. But remember, it takes just a bearish report on the jobs on Friday to neutralize what was bullish the other day, So anyway, point there being those bonds and notes, they come right back down just as fast as they went up on bearish news because that would be higher for longer rates, which is stronger dollar. We're trading the dollar. I mean, that's what you're doing. You're trading the dollar, basically. Look, the bonds and notes are up on a weaker dollar, and the market's up on the weaker dollar. If the dollar upticks, then the stocks downtick. And, it's pretty simple, really. By the way, loving some Apple. Back in the 186 area today, and just a few days ago, it was down in the 170s. I'm like loving that. And that's it. That is it. That's all I got. So listen, good trading till I'm with you again, and hope it helps. Good night.